As soon as I saw it, I knew that that land from which magical islands could be seen was my second land, and here I came to live. I'm on a promontory high above the sea. It's a stupendous view, and when during the day, from the tip of my promontory, I look at the rocks and beaches 100 meters below, the crystal clear sea which immediately turns deep blue, I know I'm in one of the most beautiful places on earth. This is how Giuseppe Berto, an illustrious Italian writer and poet, described Capo Vaticano. And it is precisely from this promontory where the Venetian writer decided to build his house and from which he drew inspiration for his books, that we begin this journey into a Calabria of infinite splendor. A wonderful land with rare beauty. Discovering it means delving into a 1,000-year history made up of illustrious people with refined culture and unparalleled folkloristic, religious, and gastronomic traditions. The municipality of Ricadi, in the province of Vibo Valentia, is nestled at the base of the Monte Poro plateau and extends to the sea with the promontory of Capo Vaticano, which we could define as one of the places of eternal summer. In fact, this area enjoys a very particular microclimate, where temperatures, even in the middle of winter, are always very mild. Capo Vaticano is a large seaside resort in the municipality of Ricadi, full of accommodation facilities. The promontory, which takes its name, reaches a maximum height of 124 meters and is made of a special granite, the white-grey kind, studied throughout the world for its geological peculiarities. Furthermore, the suggestive beaches and the crystal-clear sea, with seabeds rich in fish, make Capo Vaticano an obligatory destination for divers and both Italian and foreign tourists. Ricadi Capo Vaticano is the ideal place for those who love living in close contact with uncontaminated nature, on the shores of a stretch of sea with a clear and unique turquoise color. Along the entire coast, there is a continuous alternation of sheer cliffs, sandy shores, caves and isolated natural and uncontaminated beaches, and an ever-alive and luxuriant nature. Enchanting landscapes, and above all the sun, which fills the crops with strong flavors and the hearts of people with joy. The legends of Capo Vaticano take us to the journey of the Argonauts. The legend tells of a prophetess named Manto who had her oracle on a rock in front of Capo Vaticano, right in front of the granite rocks that jut out into the sea, drawing the shapes of monstrous giants that attempt to attack the waves. And right here, it is said, the intrepid Ulysses also landed on his journey into the unknown with his handful of adventurers whose hearts still trembled from the dangers of Scylla and Charybdis, the enchanting sirens. Today, Manto is a rock in front of the cape, which from her it got its name of Mantineo. And when the waves crash foaming, legend has it that the oracle still repeats prophecies for the brave. The vast territory of the municipality of Ricadi is located in various hamlets: Lampazzone, Orsigliadi, Ciaramiti, Barbalaconi. The largest are Privadi, Santa Domenica, Santa Maria and San Nicolò. Capo Vaticano includes 12 kilometers of coastline, considered among the most beautiful in Italy. The beaches of fine white sand are very famous, some small and intimate, reachable only from the sea, and others larger and well-equipped to welcome tourists from all over the world. Among the most beautiful we find the Bay of Riaci, defined by National Geographic as one of the most spectacular beaches in Italy, characterized by fine sand and transparent seabeds. A few steps from the shore, there is a rock which is crossed through a tunnel in which the sea circulates freely. From this rock, youngsters compete in diving competitions. Next, we find the beach of Formicoli. Today it is a destination for those who love water sports, such as flyboarding or entertainment with jet skis, parasailing and much more. That of Grotticelle, where the green of the wild nature reaches all the way to the sea. Grotticelle is certainly the most characteristic beach. Its quiet bay invites you to dive in every season. In this place, in the past, there was a cave in which flocks were placed, and this is where its name comes from. Santa Maria, from where on clear days it is possible to see the Strait of Messina and even Etna. In Santa Domenica, there is the Spiaggia della Scalea, reported by Legambiente among the most evocative beaches in Italy, characterized by a long snake of red brick stairs that lead to an almost uncontaminated beach. A true paradise for those looking for relaxation, even in the height of summer. continue towards Torre Marino, the small village that is being redeveloped, which is also worth a visit. From its viewpoint, you can see the small and wild beach, with the green of nature blending with the blue of the sea. Continuing along the coast, there is the Spiaggia del Tono and Tonicello, certainly the largest and most equipped on the coast. At the end of the long Spiaggia del Tono rises the promontory of Capo Vaticano, which introduces us to the very famous beach of Praia e Foco, often chosen by international directors to shoot commercials or films. And again the beach of Zi Sante e Pepe, a Ficara e Ziti, all reachable only by boat. The calendar of summer events is full for all those tourists who choose this stretch of the Calabrian coast. It is simplistic to live only a sea life in Ricadi. However, you need to get to know this land and experience its traditions to truly appreciate it, to enter into the human journey and culture. There are many holidays and religious events in this area. Among the most famous are those of the procession of Santa Domenica for the Corpus Domini, which, starting from the church, runs through the streets of the historic centre, decorated with flowers and votive altars on the street corners. The residents of the historic centre, as per tradition, decorate their balconies, a sign of religious devotion, and display their most precious blankets, generally those received as a dowry before marriage or as an inheritance from parents. All the churches present in the hamlets of Ricadi are small and concentrated, almost as if they want to embrace its inhabitants. Very characteristic is that of Santa Maria Lauretana, which is located on the Santa Maria beach, strongly desired by the fishermen of the small village, and a point of reference for the many tourists who flock to its beaches and seaside centre in the summer. During these numerous festivities in Ricadi, it is not uncommon to come across the figures of the giants, two imposing papier-mâché puppets, two elegant and sinuous figures dancing the caricatumbula to the rhythm of the drums. They represent a white woman named Marta and a Moorish warrior named Grifone, who dance in a primordial courtship, and are protagonists of an ancient love that originates from the Spanish tradition and recalls the Aragonese domination of southern Italy. In the Calabrian Sicilian tradition, the giants also represent the founders of the city of Messina. Ricadi is an experience to live all year round. It represents the ideal reality for a stay to rediscover ancient paths and ancient flavours, thanks to the refined typical Calabrian products, some dating back to Magna Grecia. There are truly many delicacies, all equally inviting and appetizing, all born from the experience of an ancient gastronomic tradition, thanks to which we can today enjoy the same flavors of the past. This stretch of coast is characterized not only by fishermen, but also by farmers who, with skill and stubbornness, have kept alive the traditions of growing typical products. These two souls, that of fishing and that of working the land, merge in the DNA of this half-farmer, half-fisherman people. Anyone lucky enough to enter a house in Ricadi will surely find a piñata, the typical terracotta pot, where beans are still cooked in the fireplace today. In summer, it is common to come across entire families who are busy bottling tomatoes to make the famous preserves, or to meet grandparents who pass on the value of cultivating the land to their grandchildren. Calabria, as we know, leads the way when it comes to genuine and tasty preserves, cured meats and cheeses. Ricadi is lucky enough to be a stone's throw from Monteporo, famous for its pecorino cheese. Absolutely worth trying are the red onions typical of the whole area, the induja, the extra virgin olive oil, the local wine and other typical homemade products, which constitute a completely new but equally valid way to get to know this stretch of coast in the name of rural food and wine and naturalistic tourism. Entering the streets of the centre, it is not uncommon to be carried away by the smell of freshly baked bread. There are many educational farms ready to host the numerous tourists looking for a unique experience. But Ricadi is also culture. In fact, the administration, very attentive and sensitive, has worked to create a museum itinerary of great interest, the Muri. Made up of a network of 5 exhibition centres located throughout the area, it offers a multidisciplinary experience, consisting of the Sea Museum and the Onion Museum, both in Capo Vaticano, of the Tower Museum at Torre Marana in Brivadi, of the Anthropological and Oil Museum in Ricadi, and of the Archaeological and Paleontological Museum in Santa Domenica. The Sea Museum, located in the former daytime lookout of Capo Vaticano, is immersed in Mediterranean vegetation and enjoys a panoramic view of the Aeolian Islands. The place summarizes the man-sea relationship experienced and livable in this area. The museum is divided into 5 exhibition rooms and includes the history of the Roman traps found on the Vibo coast and of the 19th century ones in operation until the first decades of the last century, a room in which some tools used for fishing are exhibited. A path of educational panels guides the visitor to learn about marine biology, also through the display of shells and remains of marine animals. The Archaeological and Paleontological Museum. It is based in the Fazzari Palace, located in the hamlet of Santa Domenica. It houses the archaeological and paleontological collections. The latter is made up of fossil remains of fauna, fish, marine and land mammals. The archaeological route offers an excursus of the human presence of Monteporo, starting from the Bronze and Iron Ages, the Greek era up to the Roman age, with the display of amphorae and kadoi, containers for pitch, coming from the archaeological deposit of Santa Maria. A permanent exhibition has been set up inside the Ricadi railway station with educational panels and ancient tools used for cultivation, harvesting and processing of the red onion of Tropea, also known as the red gold of Calabria. Tower Museum. It is located in the Torre Marana area, near the defense tower of the same name, from the 13th century Angevin period. The low structures that host the exhibition are built with raw bricks, mixed with mud and straw, called breste in local jargon. Inside, copies of the watercolor prints relating to the defense towers of this territory are exhibited. They are taken from the 16th century Codice Romano Caratelli, which illustrates the defense of the Calabrian coast in the 16th century. Furthermore, adjacent to the museum, there is an amphitheatre, which in summer becomes the ideal place for events under the stars, from theatre to concerts. The Demo Ethno-Anthropological Museum is located in the Marcello Sculco oil mill, which is one of the first electrified oil mills in the Calabrian territory. In the space dedicated to the peasant world, notes from the past linked to each object on display are recomposed. Next to the iron containers, the fiscoli, and the millstones used in the oil mill, the wooden plows and various objects used in the peasant civilization, which have now become the heritage of our collective memory, are exhibited. In the suggestive Breste room, with walls made of raw earthen bricks, ancient tools for spinning and weaving are preserved. There are many hotel and non-hotel accommodation facilities capable of hosting every type of traveller, from those looking for luxury to those who prefer a more authentic relationship with nature. There are countless trekking routes, much loved especially by tourists from Northern Europe. Many entrepreneurs in the area, supported by the public administration, are involved in environmental protection projects. In fact, all the renovation interventions are aimed at the use of renewable resources, such as photovoltaic panels, or the recovery and canalization of rainwater for agriculture. Furthermore, most of the products offered in the resorts are local. In this, almost all the structures have equipped themselves with vegetable gardens and corners dedicated precisely to the production of the products used in the kitchen. There are many experiences to be had in this area, whether traveling as a couple, in a group, or as a family, from discovering the coast by boat or enjoying the views from the many viewpoints located along the route, or simply waiting for the sunset on the Aeolian Islands, on the beach, or sipping an aperitif, referring to the legend of Ulysses' sunsets. Whatever the mood of your holiday, the municipality of Ricadi, Capo Vaticano is ready to welcome you and ensure that it remains a truly unforgettable experience.